Hey there, how you doing? I tend to think that I'm pretty punctual in real life. I mean, being late to something makes me extremely anxious, but if there's gonna be one thing that I'm late on every single time, it's trends. Remember that tiny home 4x4 challenge people are doing in Happy Home Paradise like 9 months ago? Well, I'm digging up its lifeless body and bringing it back to life. Or at least attempt to, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it probably would have been better if I did it earlier, but time's not real. Who cares? I just wanted an excuse to build a really small house. So, we are back in Happy Home Paradise, and as you see, the gods have given me villagers. But along with that, I found Olivia, which is really cool. I had her on my island for a while. I feel like it's kind of a requirement for me too, because we have the same name. So being able to see her in Happy Home Paradise was really cool. I forgot that I could make my own theme now instead of following what the villager wanted, so this was just completely perfect timing. I guess I also have the ability now to do a home with a first and second floor. I was kind of tempted to do that because I think it would be funny to do a double-decker tiny home. I might do that later. I feel like that will be obviously easier because the amount of space I have will double, but I think it'd still be kind of fun. Since this is a tiny home challenge, I didn't really put much effort into the exterior. I mostly just used flowers and trees. I have this path saved. I didn't have it for anything in particular. I just found it when I was looking around in the design portal and decided to use it. It's not a perfect fit. It's a lot more yellow than I would have liked for the grass, but it does the job. It does the job. It's fine. It's a tiny home. It's literally what's on the inside that counts right now. I also thought it was funny to use the fully expanded house because it's like this gigantic exterior for the tiniest interior possible. First thing I did was pull all the items that I would need for a fully functional house, so bed, stove, sinks, toilet, shower, so on and so forth. And originally I wanted to just move them all around as one group, and I realized building with all of those items there was very chaotic, so I scrapped the whole thing, just started in sections like a reasonable person. I did practice this a little bit on Harv's Island, just to see if it was something I could even do. It could have been worse. It is functional. You could kind of argue there isn't really a living room, but there's a TV and there's a place to sit. No place technically to dine, but I have a dining room and I don't use it. I just sit on my couch and watch TV while I have my dinner or whatever, so I figured dining tables are overrated, am I right, guys? Definitely not because I didn't have the space for it. I feel like the loft bed is an absolute must for a build like this, just because you need that additional space. Even though they can't go into the beds, I don't think so. You can't get into a loft bed, right? If I remember right, I mean, they can't climb the ladder. Either way, it creates the illusion that you have a bed that you can sleep in. But then you also have the shelf for whatever else you need. I put a TV there to kind of count as a pseudo living room space. I like having the cushion or some type of stool. Pretty much any type of seat that doesn't have arms is really useful for a build like this because you can kind of hop in from any angle. I had issues where I tried hopping into a chair, but I couldn't because the arm was in the way. So it's much easier to hop in when you just don't have arms. That's the solution for this video. Just don't have arms. Who needs them? I've been playing a lot of Sims recently, and when I was doing this, I found myself constantly wishing that I had all of the different cheats or commands to change the way I place items. But since Animal Crossing is in a very rigid grid system, you don't have that. I just wanted to alt place things so badly. I wanted to be able to move things a little more freely. If anything else, I just want a wall shelf that you can put something on. That would be so nice. And I feel like that would make something like this a lot easier to do, because then you could put things on the wall and be able to put items on top of it, and it just would have made things so much better. From what I can gather, Animal Crossing fans are never satisfied. There's always some additional feature that we want. So OBS was still acting up a lot in this video, but I think near the very end I might have figured out a way for it to stop being really weird. I'm not sure. I am gonna cross my fingers really hard because I don't want this to keep acting up. It was incredibly frustrating, and I really wanted to, okay, spoilers, I really want to do a 30-day series, but I can't really do that very well if OBS is going to crash every 2.5 minutes. I'm hoping everything is good now, because I would still like to try doing something like that. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be able to. It took me a really long time to finish the first island. I'm not sure what I would do for an extra one. I mean, hell, even in my current island, I'm still in the early stages. But it does sound like fun, so I kind of want to give it a shot. Editing this was kind of frustrating because I didn't know what I should cut out and what I shouldn't. Most of the video is me just having one layout that actually works pretty well, trying something different, realizing it sucks, and then going back to the previous layout and just kind of repeating that over and over. Also, I spent like at least a half hour just looking through wallpapers, I swear. Oh, that was a bad idea. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea. I wanted a drink to have during breaks while recording and working on stuff, and even though I had my water bottle right next to me that I needed to fill up, I decided to go in the fridge and finish off the carton of eggnog I have. And eggnog is not something good when you need to be talking a lot. Eggnog is a very thick drink. Honestly, if I were smart, I should probably finish it before I keep going. I don't know. I mean, if I were smart, I wouldn't have had it to begin with, so why start being smart now? Yeah, I think I'm just gonna finish this. And knock over my meds. Whoop. Color palette went all over the place with this. At first I was thinking something lighter tone, and then I wanted to try adding in color, but I'm not sure how to feel about it. Nothing really matches. I was thinking dark wood tone, but not all of the tones are brown. There's some black in there. It's kind of a mess color palette wise, but I'm okay with it. In the end, I guess the fact that the home is really tiny is more important than how it looks. Although a solid color challenge might be fun at some point. I don't know if anybody else does this, but sometimes I like to leave decorating mode if I'm working in a really cramped space and try to maneuver my way through. Because, I mean, even though it doesn't really matter, they're not actually going to use these spaces, it's still nice to know that they actually would be functional if they needed to. I struggled so hard trying to figure out what to do with the bathroom, especially with the floor tiles. I wanted to do something to differentiate the space, but I wasn't sure what color to use, what size I should use, if I should use individual squares or the 2x1s, and then the gap in the pillars where the entrance is, I wasn't sure if I should put a tile there or not. It looked kind of weird with one and it looked weird without one, so I just didn't know what to do really, you know? In the end, I'm not satisfied with either option, so I just tried to not think about it. Okay, honestly, doing voiceovers and just talking is very weird. I'm not a super chatty person in real life usually, so finding things to talk about and filling empty space is very strange. I don't think I've ever gotten this notification before, but I had too much stuff in here. Can you believe that she had the audacity to say, "This space is cramped"? Like, what do you mean you can't see the floor? I see some floor. You have at least one tile you can walk around in. And the thing is, I didn't even need to delete that much for her to be happy with it, so I guess it wasn't too bad. And here we have it, folks. This is my final design for the 4x4 tiny home challenge. I think I'm pretty content with it. I think I did everything that I could. I had other ideas as I was going through the editing process, so I think this might be a challenge I'd like to do again in the future. I think that could be fun. Plus, I do still kind of want to do a 2-floor 4x4 home. I think that would be really funny. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked how the video turned out. You know, feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye!